children of the corn. They walk amongst us. I hear footsteps.
But can you see the ground?
It's the two-legged unicorn. It's come to get us. No. Oh, something just walked past the camera. I'm not sure what it is.
Turn it that way a bit more for yourself. You won't be able to read properly like that. So I haven't got... Oh, what did I sit on? Bloody bird poo.
Oh, nice.
Is it on my ass?
A little bit down the left there, yeah. You better go and wipe it off. That's your friendly magpies. Or more like that
Butcher bird.
butcher bird. Yeah.
Damn.
Breaking news. My wife has sat on some bird shit. More news at 9. Not a bad evening, not too cold. Not warm by any means. We're expecting snow in my state, which is very rare, but apparently it's going to snow. All I can say, you better be very quick at building a snowman. Time for a coffee. What's everyone up to? What's your day been like? Yes, I've still got a bit of a cold. I think Awesome gave it to me. I had a quick look in her hangout today and she was sneezing. Thanks, Awesome. Ghost train. All aboard. It's a bit of a phenomenon being down looking at YouTube over the last few years. I now realise that people's channels only exist to talk about other people's channels. The anger and the hatred and the outright jealousy. It's rampant, all headed by the almighty dollar. Why are they earning more money than me? Yes, ladies and gentlemen, the children of the corn want their money. Lots of your money. Some will ask for just a very polite tip. Others will just demand that you leave your inheritance to them. All the same, you know, you can't be a little bit pregnant. It's not possible. And you can't be a little bit of an e-beggar. You either are or you're not. If you have a dollar sign and you're asking for money, even inadvertently referencing it to supporting the channel, you're still e-begging. It's my opinion, of course. Others are entitled to whatever they think. But all these channels, all they do is talk about each other. It goes round and round like a violent circle of death, always ending up with the same scenario, same shit, different day. So I've stepped completely away from them. If anyone has a dollar collection policy on their channel at all, I no longer go. And it's good. I don't have to put up with the nonsense of recycled bitchiness which occurs between, well, let's be honest, half a dozen channels. It's not even humorous, do you know what I mean? It's not funny. All that bitterness chasing the almighty dollar. It's rather crass, in my opinion. I don't mind people making money out of content, getting their AdSense. That's good. And as soon as they slip in all these other little bits and pieces, Streamlabs donations, GoFundMe, you name it, there's dozens of them. And they make reference to them all the time. Please donate now. Well, when I turn on my television, I can watch a plethora of programs, and it's brilliant. And not one time does a little hand come out of the telly and say, how about a tip? Hello, VMAC. No worries. Hello, Danny G. Yes, it's an old saying. Danny G. Yeah. It's not that I'm disappointed in people. It's just who they've become. Lots of them were usually 2 or 3 years ago, you'd say they'd be humorous, funny, cheeky, fishing video, or, you know, they're out in the garden, or they're building something, or they've got good information. I go to those channels and I support by watching their channel, and they make AdSense out of me doing so, which is earning an income for the ability of me spending enough time to watch their videos. But some people just want money. It's turned into a greedy, nasty, cynical, bottomless pit of channels moving over to the dark side, wanting your money. And they are what I call children of the corn. All hope is lost. Do they have to turn off their monetary symbols for me? No, not at all. That's not the point. It's one of the points I make for myself. Awesome Hooker doesn't have a dollar sign. There's some people that I like who've got dollar signs, but I no longer attend their channels based on my stance. And I've got to be true to myself. Just because I like someone, but they have a dollar sign, I just won't go there. But it has turned, you've all seen it. If I asked you how many channels had links to donations 24 months ago, you would be struggling to come up with a few. You come up with a few, but you see my point. Now, there's hundreds of them, all chasing the online e-begging dollar. And of course you'll have defendants saying, oh, but if someone offers us good content, well, I agree. If they offer good content, AdSense pays for that. But if someone offers simply for you to donate to them because, you know, you should, that's begging. Whichever way you look at it. Is it buffering? I do apologise. We have snow coming here tomorrow. Not here, but in my state. And since I've been away from these channels, Danny, in particular, I haven't missed them because I've realised it's all recycled crap. There's a different subject maybe each day, but the same principle. Hate upon hate, jealousy upon jealousy, and they're getting more money than me. They don't tell you that, but that's the gist of it. So I'm not missing it. It seems superfluous now for me to go back at all to any of these channels, even if they did take the dollar signs away. And for the amount of money they must be earning, which would be, let's be honest, not very much, it seems a high price to pay to throw your hat into the ring and say, donate to me because I've got a channel, for no other reason. I don't wear the observation of others that say, oh, but it's just a tip. But no, that is condoning the behaviour in my eyes. Again, these are just my opinions. I'm not asking anyone else not to go to these channels. I think poor old Norm is a very lost soul. And it doesn't matter how much money you throw at Zia. If there's a problem in life, throwing money at it will not fix it. It's like, whose opinion is it that someone is mentally unstable or emotionally unstable? It's usually the opinion of the person stating, and that's not a professional opinion. And if you're online and you're subject to being attacked based on your behaviour, and then you pull out the emotional card saying, everyone's against, well, don't be online. Or seek professional advice, because there are no paid psychologists on YouTube who give free service, if you know what I mean. But there's always someone pulling out some damn card these days, Danny. Do you know what I mean? The transgender card, just heaps of cards are being pulled out. Again, it's usually a tool based on the fact that that particular channel that they're complaining are after your money. Track them down for me. Find somebody in the last 2 years who hasn't got a dollar sign on now that you would go to and enjoy that channel. I can't find one, because money begets anger and jealousy, and then you have all these tantrums taking place for one form or another. Normally it's just for attention. It's like ringing a loud bell, and all the rubberneckers come to that channel. What's the bell being rung for? I don't know. She's going to tell us something. What is it? Oh, she hates that guy, and he hates her, and tomorrow they'll both be friends again, but they'll hate somebody else. So keep ringing the bell. While you're here, if you'd like to give me a tip, because I know there's quality content of disruption and being just a plain out bitch is what you're after. So drop in 10, 20, 50, $100. If you want a tip, I'll give you one. Be good to your mother. No, so I'm just going to keep with that policy. There are channels I go to that don't have dollar signs. They have great conversations, find out some new knowledge, and I enjoy that. But it's got very bitter in the circles at the bottom of YouTube where people are attacking each other based on the fact, and they can say otherwise, but somebody's earning more money than they are, so they're going to have a go at them. Hello, Lollis. It's sad. I always think about things and I step back and think about it. Yeah, I agree, Danny. That's why I'm here. I'm venting, but I'm telling you that I'm here to have a good time, talk to good people. It's just got very sad. I'm probably saying what people are thinking. Do you know what I mean? Like they're thinking, a lot of people are asking for money. 24 months ago was not the case. 24 months is not a long time for the conversion of normal channels, if you like, to them sticking their hand out in one form or another, has spread like a virus. And with it, the conversation of what you're just saying there, Danny, about laughter and a good talk has dissipated simply for the fact that they're all having a go at each other. Mark my words, go to any of these channels and they're having a go at somebody. It's usually now they won't tell you that, it's usually to do with money. Hello, High Country. Are you giving me your cold, you bugger? I've had a cold the last 4 or 5 days. Hope yours has gone by now. Like I say, I don't mind people making a quid out of their content. Like High Country Fly Life's got a great channel, great videos, and you should watch them. And that way you'll make a few pennies with the AdSense, and it'd be well deserved. But he's not going to ask you to give him 50, 100 bucks just because you watched a video. Entertainment is on different levels for different people. Yeah, mine's hopefully going, but I've had it for about 4 days. I've eaten heaps of garlic and onion. That always tends to help. But it's like I say, if you think about what I'm saying, a lot of these crazy channels now were just normal channels. You'd have a talk, a laugh, take the piss out of somebody, have a joke. Now it's very serious. They're all attacking each other, and they're all flashing that dollar acceptance button in your face, in text, reference to it. It's just a tip. No, it's begging. I don't care what you say. My opinion, that is. It's just my opinion. But when I see something obvious, you know, when you see a duck, and it looks like a duck, and it walks like a duck, well, it's a duck. There's no arguing.
Have your coffee.
Wife says have me coffee.
Calm down.
I'm calm. And I have enjoyed being away from the bitterness.
Well, we've been busy.
Oh no, I make sure she eats heaps of garlic and onion as well, VMAX, so that's good. VMAX says you'll keep away from me if I have it, but we both have it.
I haven't got it.
No, we both have the onion and garlic all the time.
Yeah. Oh, it's like the loaf of bread fan today.
When do I get to see your veg dish, says High Country.
Oh.
Yeah, you're under the hammer now.
Yep.
You got pumpkin and sweet potato in there, and potatoes.
Yes, I know, country.
No excuse, High Country. She's just let you go. Dropped you
We
like a
found
clanger.
a new loaf of bread today. It is olive oil, herb, and garlic.
Actually,
bread.
you should do a review on your channel of the bread. We'll have toast. Sounds good. So it's olive oil, garlic, and herbs, is it?
Yeah.
What are the herbs?
I don't know, but we'll see.
But as they shall rise and the children of the corn wander the field with their dollar signs, so they shall fall. Mark my words. Garlic is dangerous for you. No, it's not. It's bloody good for you. I've got one vampire bite on me, for starters.
Yeah, it's dangerous for me, Matt. The picture.
What sort of wine? Well, yeah, she has nice bottles of red, actually. Yeah, sweet corn's good. I like it on the cob with butter, salt and pepper. That's how I like my corn.
It would be a Merlot, VMAC.
It would be a Merlot. She has Merlots. Anyone noticing what I said about 4 months ago about the trade wars and how it would decimate the markets? Yeah, well, it's beginning. Hello, Hannah. Yes, it was a good movie, Children of the Corn. A bit like a few YouTube channels. Not quite sure which is behind that stalk. Yeah, that's the way to go, salt and pepper. Actually, you should do a video just opening a bottle of Merlot, pouring it into a high glass, putting on it, and some cheese and crackers.
Okay. It's amazing what videos actually get thousands of hits on them.
Yeah, I've got videos with loads of hits on them. Mainly they're all meditation. But I haven't done any of those for a while. I should do more.
Yeah.
Well,
There's
good.
part 2 of Children of the Corn.
Is it?
I think so, isn't there, VMAC?
What is that? Children of the Corn Cob? What I can tell you that about what I've been saying about people chasing the dollar, other people have watched other people and their methodology, and they've copied it badly. And the difference between some of them now is minute. They all copy each other. There's links in comments about donating a tip or a link to a PayPal, Streamlabs, GoFundMe. They've all just jumped on the greedy bandwagon. But it will all come to an end, mark my words. Those who rise in the field of the corn shall fall, and harvest is soon.
Hey, Itchy.
Hello, Itchy Boys. One thing I dislike about it, and I never use the word hate, but I dislike is the intent of greed in one form or another. And I'm not going to argue with anyone. They can stick dollar signs all over their channels. But it's obvious to me that it is greed that is rising to the top. Not talent, not content, but greed
Nah,
in its raw form.
not really greed. It's just an easy way to make $1. As simple as that.
What's greed?
No, well, greed, nah. I wouldn't say that about everybody.
Anyway, they're just my musings and thoughts, my opinions. They're not to be impressed upon anyone. You're hearing this voice as I'm standing in the middle of the corn. And yet I can see thousands of these greedy children on all fours scraping at the old corn on the ground. Why? Because they'll take any corn.
You want to give me
Because they're
nightmares?
greedy.
You want to give me nightmares?
Trying to tell
tonight?
a story, Ed, and you just destroyed it. The moment that they're all sitting there, like the old radio forming there, and then you come and say,
Yep. And he's a miserable bugger when he's got a cold, VMAC, I tell ya. The man flu.
Well, no, it's a real cold. I rarely get a cold. Actually, that's the funniest thing, Itchy Boys. If I challenged everybody to eat anything, even just eat a banana, and they did a video of it, they would never publish it. They'd be thinking, oh, I look
You
silly.
did, remember?
Yeah, I
And
know.
YouTube struck you for it.
Yeah, I did a video called Sexy Banana. I painted, I just drew a couple of eyes and lips on it, and I slowly stripped it. The sexy banana. And YouTube said, that's naughty, don't do that. But it's funny. I tend to eat with my mouth closed. I'm sure most people do. But it would be funny to see a heap of people put up videos. This is me eating.
Well, there is a lady. That's all she does.
Is it?
Actually, I just realised.
Oh,
I don't know
God.
how she subbed to me. I can't even remember her channel. Obviously, she wanted subs. All she does is the camera sees half her face and the food, and she describes what she's eating. It could be a whole cake, a meal,
Hello, Osts. How are you, my
and
friend?
all she does is eat it. on
I
camera.
don't think I'd watch videos like that.
I did because it was funny.
I think the funniest video would be if you challenged people to make spaghetti bolognese and eat it with a fork. Because then it would be funny.
Actually, yeah, some foods aren't easy to use. It would be funny. Well, I think it would be funny, actually, watching someone eat certain foods.
Yeah, you're right, Odds. He eats like a dog. But he's coming to an end shortly too. I found it very sad. I did watch a video once, and I thought it was to do with an eating competition. What it was, it started off that this guy was normal size, and the video went on to show him now at 550 pound, stomach, half removed, blah blah blah. Obesity is a nightmare. It's one of our terrible plagues of a modern society. Eating heavy, fatty, carbs, foods that just pile it on. And most people are sedentary.
I haven't seen that one.
It's
Reno.
it's not more so much the weight. It's like understanding. It's like I remember sitting down with a doctor once, telling a guy who was about 400 pound, and the guy was telling the doctor, "I think I'm a little bit overweight," and the doctor leaned forward and said, "You've just noticed? Like he's just reached 400 pound." He says to the doctor, "I think I'm a little bit overweight." I get what the doctor was meaning. It didn't just happen yesterday, and it's not going to come off tomorrow. It's a change of habits that change your lifestyle. And what you're doing, if it's not working, stop doing it.
Mukbang.
I know it's obvious.
I've never heard of that.
Mukbang, that's food, just banging it down.
Is that what you call it?
You can, yeah, basically. I think one of the things I noticed, I'm 60, and I don't need as much food as I used to. I mean, I played a lot of sport, worked in the heavy industry for a while, and so I was eating big meals. Of course, when you stop, you keep eating big meals, then you realise, whoa. But after a while, I just can't eat that big meal anymore. But it's not, I would never recommend anyone to go on a diet. I think that's crazy. Just stop what you're doing if it's not working and change. Some people have asked me for different types of foods that would help. And I can tell you, one of the first things that help when you want to change how you eat is to cook.
And eat blueberries.
Blueberries help, but what I'm saying is if you make the effort to cook, you're in control of what you eat. You know where it come from. There's a bit of pride when you make your own food. Maybe you can make a big batch up and portion it, and put some in the fridge and some in the freezer. Save money. Yeah, I'm 71, but I got the height. Yeah, I don't look as an age as an end date. I've got friends way past 71. So age is just a number, but if you're not happy with yourself, you've got to... There's only one person that changes it. It's not a professional or a doctor or a dietitian. They're all nonsense. It's you.
Well, sometimes people need help.
Remember John, who used to get too big? He's a friend of mine years ago. He must be 75 now.
You mean John from the company?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He found a way, Itchy, that someone told him, and I reckon it's a great idea. And he said, I never thought of it, but he said his mate said to him, get a diary, and it's the 7th of May now, whatever it is, write down 9 a.m, had 2 eggs on toast. 10:30, had a piece of cake and coffee. And his mate say, don't change how you eat. He said, just leave it for 1 week, but write down everything you eat. And at the end of the week, I want you to open the book up and have a look. And John said to me, it was staggering. He was eating for eating's sake. And he did nothing other than recognise what he was doing. I thought that was, oh no, Guinness is never going to be a downfall. Actually, Guinness has got a lot of goodness in it, you know that, Itchy. It's really good for you. Yeah, I believe your ground was spot on. Thus, if you have everything in moderation. He says he did. Paper. All right, go out the back, on the pavers, get a small piece of chalk.
I'll send you some.
But it's what my grandfather said, if what you're doing's not working, stop doing it. There's no answer from me to tell you how to change, but what you're doing's not working, you've got to work it out. You're sounding a little back up there, see, it's poorly. Yeah, I'm a little bit poorly. Actually, why don't I speak Irish to a Scotsman? Anyway, I've had a cold for about 4 days, but my voice is perfect for those 555 numbers. Hello, good evening, Seeds to Freedom. What are you wearing? Guinness is good for you. I don't mind a Guinness every now and then.
Well, it's one of
And
my...
actually, of course, the nurses, particularly where Guinness is made, used to give it to pregnant women after they had a baby. They used to get it free.
Yep, in the hospital in England.
In Dublin, in particular.
Because it had good stuff in it and helped with breastfeeding.
Yep, got everything going.
Echinacea, yes. Buttercup, I've told him about that. I got some of that in the bathroom, actually.
I'll be good. I'll give a couple of days. I'll be coming good. Got to be good by Saturday. I'm going to a big match. It's going to be about 6 degrees. So I might light a little fire in the stand. I wonder if they'll notice.
I think so. I think they'll kick us out. Yes, we're going to the footy on Saturday.
Yes, my daughter's team's playing my wife's team. So it could be war. I find that we honestly just eat when we're hungry. That's what we do. There is no time. There is no like breakfast, dinner, or evening meal. We don't have times for that.
Yeah, that's how I lost
When I
my
was a
weight.
kid, we used to go to the British Legion in the UK. Some of you know what I'm talking about. And we would be given cider, and it wasn't watered down cider, it was alcoholic cider, but it was quite common for kids to have cider, or what Itchy just said then, a little bit of stout and lemonade. Now that's giving it to your kids. It was quite normal. A lot of people with horrendous, but we only had one, do you know what I mean? And it was always a good night out, and kids had fun. I mean, let's be honest, there's plenty of Irishmen and Scotsmen have stuck a little bit of whiskey on a baby's dummy late at night when they can't get any sleep. The little bairn's gone to bed now. You can hear him snoring.
So what's everybody been up to? We haven't been on because we've been busy.
Yep.
We've actually got a grandson tonight again.
Yep, I mean, it was quite common when I was a kid. You're older than me, Itchy, but you know what I'm saying.
I did
A
too.
little bit of something on the dummy never hurt.
I got schnapps.
Yep. My wife used to get a little bit of schnapps on her dummy. Teething babies, yeah. Even brandy.
Well, actually, a drop or two was put in our bottles if we had wind.
I do know that Irishman told me that when a baby had cold or croup or things like that, they'd stick a little bit of Irish whiskey under their chin. I don't know whether that was more fable than fact, but yeah, I can imagine the fumes would be going up the baby's nose.
Well, it wouldn't be good to go out in the cold, high country. If you're sick, you're best to get well first.
Yeah, he's been a bit crook, but he must be coming to the end of it.
Yeah, schnapps.
But yeah, that's one of the points they high. If you think you're coming good, and you think, yeah, I'm right, and you go out again, and you're another 2 weeks getting over it.
Oh, root beer schnapps makes
Never
a good
liked root beer
popsicle.
or sarsaparilla. Never liked it.
No, I
Came to Australia in the 60s, and everyone thought, yeah, we give it a go. No, it was crap. Everyone said no. It's just how people have a taste, I guess, but we don't have. What's the other one our friend drinks all the time?
Dr. Pepper.
Yeah, Dr. Pepper. That's a bit like sarsaparilla in many ways.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Yeah, you're starting to come good. That's good. Have a good one, Danny.
See you, Danny.
You fine ass old lady, you.
You're never going to live that down, Danny.
Oh, I thought it was hilarious. It was funny.
All
I want to see them, Buttercup. You got to do a video and show me. Strawberries and blueberries in my state peak at this time of year, and the strawberries have been unbelievable,
Oh,
haven't
they've been so nice.
they? And the blueberries have been good.
I see-
Big and juicy.
I eat the whole punnet of strawberries to myself and then a whole punnet of blueberries.
It's only $2 for a big punnet, so that's pretty good value.
How big are our punnets?
Yeah, all pavers are gone except what we're standing on, so we don't drag dirt in the back door. Got a little area here we've kept.
Yep.
Yep, stout and Guinness was always used. In Dublin, in the hospital, they used to give it to women after they had babies. I'm pretty sure the father jumped in a few times and said, no, it's no good for you, I'll have that.
Yeah, dark beer was even in Germany. They did the same to the women who just gave birth. They gave them a dark
Yep.
beer.
Actually, there's a lot of dark beer in Germany. Wheat beer, it's beautiful beer. Erdinger,
Oh, blueberries. Yum.
You'll have to give me some tips on growing blueberries because I'm going to grow probably about a dozen of them in a couple of rows next to each other, I think. But if you've got any tips, Buttercup, let me know.
Oh my god, I love blueberries, strawberries. I'm not that keen on raspberries, or what's the other one? What's the other berry?
Oh, there's hundreds of berries.
I'm not. I'll eat blackberries and raspberries, but I would prefer blueberries and strawberries.
Yeah, well, in our state, which covers basically from south of, Mexican border up to Canada is the length of my state. So we have strawberries and blueberries grown all the time, except in the middle of summer. Blackberries, when I was a kid, Itchy will know what I'm talking about, and so will a couple of others in here. When I used to walk to school in the UK, it was 4 miles to walk to school. And I used to go what they call down Berry Lane, which was 800 years old. Just a dirt track. Sometimes there'd be a bit of gravel thrown on there, but on either side of that lane was blackberries, blueberries, strawberries, apples, pears. And I'm not kidding you. You could walk to school and eat your way there and back. Have to go back a bit. I can't see it. That's a chocolate koala
It's a bit dark.
that my wife is going to consume. Should I film her doing it? All right, I will. Here is said evidence of small... You don't have to move. I'm moving the camera. You don't have to move. So there is the koala chocolate, which is for caramel.
Yum, caramel.
No, it was pretty flat. It wasn't 4K, it was 4 mile. I grew up with pounds, shillings and pence and threepences and halfpennies. And it was 4 mile. It just take me about an hour to go to school and back. If it was raining, I'd get home a bit quicker.
Oh, yes.
Chocolate eating loons. Here we go.
Wow.
Look, naked chocolate. This poor koala has been sacrificed for the viewing audience. If you like to look away now, if you find it disturbing or upsetting that this poor koala will now end its life on this earth, please look away now. Ah, you bastard! That's what a koala looks like if hit at 60 kilometres an hour by an old Datsun 120Y.
Oh, I love caramel. And then you sort of use your teeth and, like...
Pure sugar. The way to go.
Alright, scrape it all up.
All right. Yeah, you're doing mukbang.
Oh, am I?
It reminds me
You're
of
watching me eat, yeah.
Tina Turner. Mukbang, city limits.
How do you eat your koala?
She's nearly finished it. Don't worry about getting stuck in.
Oh, it's only a little one.
But spring has come early here. All our trees are starting to flower, which is a month early. Which would suggest we're going to have a long summer.
It's been very cold here the last 3 mornings.
We are,
though.
JP. We're about to get snow down to 600 metres,
Yeah, in
which is
WA.
extraordinary. It only happens once every decade, but we've got some high plains and country. There'll be snow on tomorrow. The Peringarups.
It's sort of gone from beautiful 27 a couple of days ago down to 5 this morning, which is cold
That's
for
3
us.
this morning.
Yeah.
That's coming tomorrow evening. We're going to the footy, watching my wife's team, Fremantle, play my daughter's team, Essendon.
Hey JP, you might see me on the TV. I'm going to be the one that's all in purple with a Fremantle scarf on.
Streaking across the oval.
And I will have my ears on that I wore while we were on holiday, so you'll recognise me without a problem.
August, right now, is the coldest time of the year in Australia. It's always the first 2 or 3 weeks of August, and then after that, by September, you think, where did that all go?
BMAC, what I call cold, as soon as it's under 18 degrees Celsius in winter, I get cold. I'm a wimp.
Our stadium's always full. I'm sure you've seen it on telly, JP. Optus Stadium here, it's like 60,000 people. We're getting normal tickets, and they're $130 each. And that's the relatively cheap ones. Imagine how much money these buggers make out of one game.
Like a telly type. Yeah, I probably
Unbelievable.
will. With my coat on and that, yeah. Oh dear.
I think it was $8 to watch the first Eagles game. Yeah, I mean, your wind starts kicking in late August, September, October. Just like here, we get wind kick in October. And even it might be like 25, but when the wind kicks in, it's bloody freezing. Well, for Australians and New Zealanders, it's freezing. The worst is the black ice. That's the worst bloody thing. Get family ticket. Yeah, no, you won't get that here. What did William, even a child, he was 70 or something, wasn't
Yeah, because
he? 70 for a kid.
my daughter bought tickets for her and the hubby and their son for the whole season. But of course, William being 10 isn't always that excited to go. Is
No,
he?
well, he'll be okay with those going because he'll enjoy. It's Flash Stadium. It's very well designed. Looks like something the Romans would build. But they've done a very good job with optimising viewing. You go to the MCG. Trust me, if you've ever been to the MCG, you get a cheap ticket. You stand behind a bloody pole, and you're leaning from right to left. See where the footy's
Where's
going.
the MGC?
The MGC.
Well,
Do you want another drink? I'll get you another drink.
I haven't
Just a
had
little
one.
little chop, a little itchy poo one.
I think I need more chocolate.
The MCG,
MCG.
the Melbourne Cricket Ground.
Oh, the Melbourne. So the SCG's the Sydney. Got it right.
They're probably not the two important games. Eagles in Richmond and Brisbane and Geelong. In the mix, two of the sides will go up and the other two will stay in third and fourth. But the big game is actually the Fremantle-Essendon game. Essendon can get booted out, and the Western Bulldogs and Adelaide game. No, it's Greater Western Sydney, I think, and Adelaide. So they're going to be big games.
Yes, could be mother and daughter trouble on Saturday night.
I wouldn't be upset if the Eagles lost, to be honest. That still puts them in third. No big deal. One of the two top teams will lose as well, so they'll be equal third.
Yes, it is freezing where high country
Yeah, sorry,
is.
Itchy. Australian rules football. I do know it gets windy where high country is, even in town, let alone going up in the hills.
I just could not survive in that temperature, VMAC.
Well, we did briefly when we went up to Mount Kosciuszko in the middle of summer, and then the wind kicked in. It was minus 15, minus 20. Wearing a pair of shorts and a t-shirt wasn't the go.
No, and the public toilets were stainless steel seats. Well, no, you froze
Yeah.
to the damn seats.
I think you're right, Johnny. If the penny falls the right way, those two I think will be playing off. I don't think Geelong can beat the Eagles and Tigers now. And Brisbane on their day can beat anyone, but they've got to be on their day. Watching the Eagles just pressure Adelaide last week enough to stop Adelaide any hope of winning was quite awesome. They put the foot down when they wanted to. So this game against the Tigers will be full on. And the difference between the Eagles and Richmond, Eagles are much taller and Richmond are very good down the centre, but you've got to get past all the backs of the Eagles. So that's why we win football matches, because we stop people kicking goals. Spring fishing season. Do you go to the coast, high country? Do you head to the coast to go fishing? Or the Sounds? Do you go anywhere like that? Or you're mainly just in the lakes and rivers? Yeah, it's one of those things. Aussies don't like the cold. Like when we're in the UK, I just couldn't help but laugh. Front news paper. London hits 26 degrees. Heat wave to continue. I'm thinking, what? Yeah, I think the Tigers and the Eagles are fairly evenly matched for skill. The Lions on the day could beat both of them, but they've got to be on their game. And they've lost some matches which were just ridiculous this year.
Oh, that'll be a good video, High Country.
A big trip November down south to the famous Matura River. That sounds good. It's like, I know there's people in Canada in particular that will walk out in the snow in their bare feet. And you would find it extraordinary at, say, 45 degrees Celsius that I would walk across the sand in bare feet. We both look at each other and think, what are you doing? But we're used to it, and obviously you guys are used to it too.
Here comes the
Sounds
ghost train.
like a good one, mate. You do that 2-day trip, you're going to be using a boat at all? I used to love tobogganing when I was a kid in the UK. It's good fun. Till you break someone's shin.
I remember when we went on, that was New Zealand. What's his name?
Up at
Andy.
Queenstown.
The Irish or the Pommy, was he? Remember Andy?
Yeah,
no,
I know
was
you're
it,
talking.
no, it wasn't
Andrew.
him. Wasn't him.
Big guy. A Scottish guy. He didn't break his leg,
No,
the
it
other
was-
guy did.
On the toboggan, yeah.
In Queenstown they got this thing, High Country, where you go down up the top pub and they got this tobogganing thing. You go up there with a little ski lift thing to the top and you jump on, it's just on, skids if you like. Well, I went straight down over the top of a rail, over a bridge and down on the track again, which I thought, oh well, that's what happens when you go that fast. But just up ahead of me there's a tunnel and a guy was lying on his side screaming in agony. I couldn't stop. I flew straight past him but told people straight away. He hit the side of the tunnel, snapped his leg terribly. But it's good fun.
Hey, Turner.
I don't use the brakes. The guy says, what you do is you pull back on the brake. And we go, yeah, righto. If it can go as fast as it can, that's what I do.
Did you say hello to Turner? Say hello to your guests that come into the room.
I can't see her from who come in.
M. Turner.
Hello, M. Turner. Sorry I missed you. My wife just stabbed me in the shin. It is. When you're out in the snow and you just hear nothing, you actually just hear that little faint pitter-patter. And the little bits hitting the tiny branches of a tree. Something magical about nature, that's for sure.
Yeah, it is fun playing in the snow, but not for too long.
So who here has not been in the snow? We have. I also grew up with it. But I never used to mind snow, ever. Sleet. I did not like sleet. It was like being stung by barbed wire. Snow, not a problem.
Well, we know VMAC's been in the snow. We know High Country definitely
VMAC
has.
lives in an igloo.
Yeah. JP, have you been in the snow?
Oh, he would have to have been. Come on, who hasn't been in the snow? Yeah, you're always in the snow. As soon as you get up in those high country, snow's at your feet. But the worst part, I noticed one video where it's all slushy. That's a pain in the ass. Crispy snow is fine, but slushy, mushy snow is not fine. Oh, Thredbo, yeah. Yeah, the New Zealand Alps probably put our Australian Alps to shame, mainly because they're a lot taller. The one just outside Queenstown's a beauty. There's always someone being carried off by paramedics in skiing places. We all know that.
And it can be pretty scary. Like, it's something I would never want to be an avalanche. Never would want to be near one of them.
No, you don't get much choice.
I mean, it can be, well, you've got to respect nature. You can die in anything, I suppose, but how scary would that be, buried in an avalanche?
Well, they're pretty good around the resorts because they'll blow peaks, and then they use made up snow to make it level and thick and fluffy. No, but sleet. If all you guys from snow country know what I'm talking about. You get that sleet, and it doesn't have to be constant. It can be just every few seconds you get whipped by that sleet. That is a pain in the ass. I remember walking home in snow often, and I'd be sweating by the time I get home. Because snow's not cold, it's an insulator. One thing that you always see at snow resorts, JP, is people not being able to turn. They just keep going straight. Doesn't matter what's in the way. Thud. I couldn't turn. No. Generally just before it snows it warms up a bit too. There's a special colour in those clouds that you know you've got snow coming. And then when you see the green bits in the cloud with the bits of the very, iridescent oranges, you know you're going to get bloody hail or sleet. Unpleasant. No, it doesn't. It can be a few degrees above zero. We were up in, was it Katoomba when we were out in the car park? And then that swirly snow, is the only way
Yeah, it was Katoomba, yeah.
We were up in Katoomba and had this weird snow. You might have seen it every now and then high. It looked like someone had emptied 400 beanbags.
Yeah.
It was just little pellets of snow flying around.
But it was very soft.
Yeah, it was snow.
It was very slow. It was really amazing to watch.
I've never seen it since or before. Seriously looked like someone opened thousands of beanbags. I'm pretty sure one thing that's certain, Buttercup, I could make the forecast from here, 10,000 miles away. It's not going to snow in Arizona today. Yeah, Katoomba's a beautiful place. A bit pricey in the tourist trap cafes though.
Oh, I love Katoomba. The old buildings, the second-hand shops up there.
Blackheath's got a old museum. Or was it Heathridge?
Oh, they all have.
No, the one we...
No.
Blackheath. It was Blackheath.
That's
I'm
where you
getting
got
it.
pneumonia.
Yeah, Blackheath. It's got a beautiful old historical museum.
That's where in the hotel room, I thought, man, it's cold in here. So we turned the heater on. I thought, there's no electric blankets. So I went downstairs and got some, and then I had another look, and they actually were on the bed.
So we had two. It's my bedtime. Good night.
Good night, JP.
Yeah, there goes Johnny. Yeah, I got a cold. I'll be good in a few days. We had one hailstorm when we lived in Riverstone in Sydney, and it just had a swath that went through about half a mile. It destroyed every tree we had on the property. And just before, and I'm not making this up, I said to the missus, I'm going to park the car
Yes.
under the carport.
Yeah.
Doesn't look good in the sky, and that colour.
Oh man, that was really bad.
And
that
there's
hail.
people driving past have busted, Lura and Glenbrook. Yep. Good night, chappie. But yeah, just destroyed every tree. Every car going past had busted windscreen. Probably about an inch and a half hail. But with the wind, it was just, we had palm trees out the back, and it was like shredded. Your daughter sends me a message saying Xavier has money on Essendon this weekend. I won't answer you.
Yeah, but because you know Xavier, he used to play for the Eagles. He used to be a footy player, and he stopped because he got injured.
Well, I wouldn't be putting money on the game.
And
Could go either way.
He's now at the radio station we listened to today.
Yeah, but our winter's just about knocked on the head. Another couple of weeks would be good. September we can get weather in the 30s, which is good. Normally about the first, second week it starts kicking up. But this is the coldest time of the year. And proved correctly tomorrow, it's going to snow in my state. You had a mini tornado on the weekend. Thus, we get them around about October, November, just when the real heat kicks in, but the land's still cool. They come off the coast as storms, and then certain areas just seem to get hit every year. Not often, but every year or two there's a pretty nasty one that comes through.
So no bananas, say Buttercup.
Yeah, it's a weird looking thing when you see banana or palm trees completely shredded. It's like just fingers sticking up in the air.
Oh, I'm going in a minute.
Hmm?
I'm going in a minute.
Yep, we'll lock it on here shortly. I'm sure there's somebody firing up a channel. Maybe you'll find one that doesn't have a dollar sign attached to them to go and visit.
Stop
But
it.
you go where you please. I don't go there anymore. Anyway, hi, make sure you're cold, rug up. And I'd like to see that 2-day trip. It sounds like a real interesting one. Yeah, we get them in New Zealand as well. We get the old ones, mainly on the west coast of our countries. Not so much on the east coast.
Oh, the first time your banana trees gave you bananas.
Wow.
How long have you had them?
Actually, we can grow bananas. I should grow a few.
Oh, they just, well, yeah, you sort of got to be careful because the soil gets that rot in it that can affect your garden.
Oh, I didn't know you were a garden expert.
I'm not an expert, but I've just heard about it.
Anyway, we'll give a couple of them a go. Maybe in that back corner where that fig was.
Because they take over too.
I know, just keep sending spurs up, that's all. You grow them in a trench. All right, good people, we are going to go and probably go to bed shortly. Good catching up with you.
Oh,
3 to 4 years.
She's had bananas. How many times have you had bananas?
She just said the first time.
Wow.
It's good though, producing your own bananas. You've got to just be patient and not try and pick them while they're still not quite ripe.
I remember once when there was a cyclone up north. Remember that? When we lived in Tasmania, and bananas are normally
$20 a kilo they were.
Yeah, they're normally
$1.99.
yeah, $20. It got to the stage that all cafes and that wouldn't even sell banana splits because no one could afford bananas.
Yeah, worked out about $4 a banana. Sounds good, mate. If you're not hooked up to High Country Fly Life's channel, it's a fishing channel, go and have a look. You don't have to subscribe, but if you find it interesting, do so. I find it interesting. It's the #1 fish and chip shop in New Zealand. Oh, that's a big claim. That's a big claim. Hello, Keeping. Usually when you get older, you downsize.
What do you mean? What are you downsizing?
You're talking about physicality or living conditions?
Yeah, that was a couple of years ago, Buttercup. It's because we had a cyclone that ruined the whole of our state's banana industry.
Yeah, actually, my sister was in that cyclone.
And they went,
Yahtzee.
you know, from $1.99, $2 a kilo, slowly crept up. They peaked at $25 a kilo.
Yeah, so about $4 or $5 a banana.
So for about 2 years,
Yeah, the edition actually
Didn't
starts
need any.
commencing in about a week. I'll keep you in touch. But we've ripped the pavers up and they come around for pre-site evaluation. Everything's been approved. Just a few knick-knacks and paddywhacks to get going, and then they'll be bricking up and laying a slab. First time I'll be driving through there. Actually, be good to take some video of the trip driving there, Hi.
and can you
Can make that a separate video, I guess.
will you be able to take video of the fish and chip shop? Hi.
More than likely. Most New Zealanders don't really care. Yeah, it won't be long keeping. Not long now. It's just all been paperwork up till now. Why adding on at your age? Well, to be honest, we've got an enormous family. And yeah, that's the answer. There's no other answer, is there really? We've just got a big family.
Yeah, and I do like a bit of extra room. Don't sort of like being on top of each other. I do like to sometimes go off and read a book somewhere quietly if Seeds is watching something on TV.
It's rare. It may not look that good, but I'll be nude doing it.
We're buffering. No, it's not now. Yeah, they were giving us bananas from Queensland, which is, I don't know how far away from us.
Well, transport would be 2 days.
Yeah, so that and they've just put the price up. So for about 18 months, 2 years, you couldn't get banana splits or
Just couldn't get bananas. Now they're no more than a couple of bucks a kilo. What?
We're buffering really bad.
Okay. Apparently we're buffering. You probably won't hear me because we're buffering. I do apologise for that. The camera, like me, must be getting tired.
I wonder if
Just tell them that we're going because I can't fix the
Yeah.
buffering.
I'm wondering if your power's low. That's I don't know.
I don't know how to get this down now.
Just tap it. Yeah. It was doing it when you first got on too. No, that wouldn't help low battery.